Hey y'all, I'm Ada K. And I must confess, I'm a trial junkie. I enjoy viewing trials as if I was the seated juror. So grab a cup of java, get comfy, and join me as we hop into court. And don't forget to comment, like, and most importantly, subscribe. And if you're really enjoying the channel, please join our membership. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. I've been doing some more changes, mounted some things. I'll get there eventually. I'll get everything settled. But we had an interesting start to the court and a very interesting end today. So, welcome, Miss Diane. She's in the back office. Welcome, my interpreter. I am so blessed my interpreter's here. Yes, and we have got Miss Jules getting ready to join us. Oh my gosh, let me back this up so people can see us better. Hello, Viva Braxton. Hello, Andrea. Hello. Oh, Sinbad. Hello. Hello, everybody. And here's Miss Jules. Woohoo. There she
Hi,
is.
everybody.
Oh, you look so comfy.
I'm not.
Well, look at that shirt you got on. That feels.
It was not warm enough for court. I had to put my recovery addict
We saw.
shirt on too, and I still wasn't warm. Still wasn't
Jeez.
warm. Yeah, it's freezing.
Thermal underwear time.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, several people in there have suggested that.
Wow, y'all. This morning started at bat bleep crazy. It was crazy. What the heck?
You are aware that I am the audience member that the judge was referring to.
I don't think our live is aware of that. I knew it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I really struggled this morning. I didn't know what to do because I was in the deli yesterday. As you guys know, I was having lunch with Long Crime, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to be thrown, but yeah, I was with them
Court
and
TV, law and crime, ...
yeah, but okay, but I it was not one of them. They were not the reporters, okay? They were not the reporters that were talking about the case or anything like that. And they were not one of the ones that went up to the judge's chambers yesterday after lunch.
Can you go ahead and share what happened? Because we got some people who don't know.
Okay, so
Hi, Karen Dietrich.
yesterday, well, we talked about it yesterday about what happened at lunchtime, and after lunch, apparently, a juror, I mean, not a juror, a reporter went up to the 9th floor to the judge's chambers to report that they had seen a juror in a local restaurant where two other reporters was discussing the case, and it was on the TV. So the judge yesterday said, well, if you want to come forward now, blah, blah, blah. And because the whoever the reporter was never said anything, never came forward, nothing. And then this morning, when the judge got into the courtroom, the judge said that he received a letter from an attorney's office. I think it was either Palm Beach or Palm Harbor. I can't remember. It was Palm, whatever. We have a lot of Palm cities here. But in any case, it said that for a law firm, stating the same thing. So then the judge talked to the prosecutor and the defense attorney, and the prosecutor didn't seem concerned, but the defense attorney did, and he wanted the jury to be polled, not polled, but questioned individually to find out which one it was. Now, here's the thing. That juror, after lunch yesterday, should have reported it himself, but he didn't. And I didn't say anything about it either yesterday, because I don't know why, but I didn't. I was in the deli. Now, he had left when I walked in, okay? And then the 3 people that I had lunch with was there. It was the employee who told me that the juror just left and that the juror was very upset with the employees. And he said to them, I'm a juror and I'm not supposed to be watching this trial. He said, I'm a juror on this trial. You need to turn the TV off. And the girl that told me was like, I wanted to tell him, well, why do we have to turn our TV off? Just go here out. So, but she didn't, because the owner was there. But she was quite annoyed. And they did turn the TV off, and he got his lunch, and he was leaving as I was arriving. Okay. But I didn't find any of this out until I was in there. And no, I didn't say anything to anybody, although the other 3 people that I was with heard it too, and they didn't say anything either. So I didn't really think much of it at the time, because he did ask for it to be turned off, and they obliged and they turned it off. And
so he didn't really hear anything.
No, but no, not that I was aware of. However, in court, the judge said that the email that he received was that the juror was in there and that there was 2 reporters in there talking about the case. And I'm like, but that part's not true. And so that's what I was struggling with. It's like, I know that part's not true, but I know that the guy asked for the TV to be turned off, and they did turn the TV off for him. What do I do? And
this is what you texted to your friend.
Oh, that
email.
The day is a blur. Okay.
Yesterday you emailed somebody and you're waiting for an answer.
And so when he popped into the jury box, I was like, yeah, I need to say something. So while the judge was questioning him, I got the bailiff. We went out in the hall, and I said, just like this, listen, I do not know if this is relevant or not, but, and I told him exactly what I just said to you. And he goes, I'm going to let the judge know. And I was like,
you almost became a witness again.
No.
What is it with you?
And I was like, I just like caught my breath, and I said, but he goes, I have to let the judge know. So then I'm sure you saw when the deputy was up at the judge's bench talking to him, and then the judge made the announcement that there's someone in the audience, blah, blah, blah. And when the prosecutor said, no, they didn't need to, I was like, but Taylor said, well, can I have a minute, Your Honor? I was like, oh, for the love of God, please don't do this to me. But then he came back and said, no, they were fine. And that was that. And, you know, at the lunch break, I did talk to the deputy again, and I was like, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And he goes, nope. You did the right thing. And I was like, okay, I have to like isolate myself. I have to self-isolate. I can't, because I talked to many people today, people that I can't disclose.
And you didn't learn your lesson the last time?
I gave my word, and I'm not, but yeah, that's what happened this morning. Actually. Any questions?
Oh, welcome, Yaya Trucker. Yay, you found us through Jules mentioned on UNRA's channel today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. It's a little quieter of a night than it was before. Let me tell you, last night was a lot.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing a long. I cannot.
No, we're not. I can't either.
I was hoping that, because when I booked out of there today, like I told you, it was, I'm going to send the jury home for the day, and we'll come in, we'll start testimony, be here at 12:30. And I was like, oh my God, I could sleep in. And then Ada bursted my bubble.
Well, they were going to do, was it the JOD? They were going to do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about this little young twit. I'm not happy with that girl.
Yeah, you're talking about Eva?
Eva.
Yeah, I kind of felt.
One way I felt bad, but the other, after I've seen some of the stuff I've seen.
Well, I haven't. And that's why I asked you to see if you could, locate it.
I located it, and I located something that's no longer on her Twitter account. She took it down.
Okay, good. The first time when she was asked to go wait outside, she was very upset. So much that her cheeks were bright red. And when she got to be about 3 feet away from the deputies that stand next to the door, she gave them an eye roll, like, you believe this is happening?
She didn't give it to the judge, though.
No, she didn't.
For those of you who may not know, she yesterday claims that she was, what was the word she used?
Emotionally traumatized, I believe.
Emotionally traumatized, and the newspaper just jumped up on her, or sprung themselves on her, so to speak. I can't think of the word she used.
It was not the newspaper. It was ABC.
I mean, the news station.
It was ABC.
Channel 8 News. And they were asking her questions. More about her emotional state, how she's handling this. And she's so emotional, distraught, and upset. Guys, you want to see how emotionally distraught and upset this girl is?
Yeah,
Seriously,
I'd
do you
like
want
to
to
see.
see this?
Yes, please.
This is her going. Okay, let me wait.
Do you have the one from Tuesday and the 2 from yesterday?
I have more than just that.
Oh, okay.
I've got multiple.
I want to see it because I want to see just how truthful.
Okay, here she is. I've got 5 of them, I think, at least.
I can't hear. No sound.
That's all you want to like testifying your dad's murder trial and your crush is watching you. That's
You-
nerve-wracking.
There was no sound.
What?
Yeah, no sound.
You're kidding.
No, couldn't hear it.
Well, I can hear it.
Well, I can't.
Well, I'm looking.
Did you guys in the chat hear that? Braxton,
Nope.
did you hear it? Can't hear you, Braxton.
Can you hear it now?
Y'all don't know what it's like to have to testify in your dad's murder trial and know that your crush is watching you back home on TV. That's nerve-wracking.
All right, I heard it that time. Replay it again.
Now, hold on. Now we're up.
Fine. Y'all don't know what it's like to have to testify in your dad's murder trial and know that your crush is watching you back home on TV. That's nerve-wracking.
Sorry, the judge should have never cut Taylor off today when he was probing, when he wanted her to get her phone.
Here's another one. Hold on. Let me get the video up. I apologize. Downloads. What's this one?
I'm speechless.
Fine. Y'all don't know what it's like to have to test.
Sorry, what?
I'm speechless.
Oh, there's more.
On court TV. Good morning. The trial has started. It's jury selection now. As y'all can see, it's live on court TV. You probably saw us sitting back there. Now I'm walking to my car to get something because I desperately need it. And we are vlogging today. They're starting jury selection. The court just ruled against a continuance, which is sick. I mean, I wasn't really worried, but I don't know. Sometimes there's always that question of whether or not they're going to or not. But yeah, he just kind of was like, yeah, no continuance. The trial starts now. And now they're doing it.
Did you see she went like this? I'm going to get a little something.
Court TV. Good morning. The trial has started. It's jury selection now. As y'all can see, it's live on court TV. You probably saw us sitting back there. Now I'm walking to my car to get something because
Did you see it?
And
I'll show
she
you.
was going to do some. She was going to smoke.
Yeah,
She went like that.
she smokes.
Remember how I told you that I was nervous about my crush watching me on live TV? Well, I literally told y'all, no, but in all seriousness, I cannot talk a lot about the trial right now. I will when I am allowed to. But a lot of people have been asking me about my jewelry, especially specifically this necklace. I think I wear it a lot because it's my favorite necklace of all time. But it's D Ruel I'll tag her in the caption on Instagram, TikTok. She's a jewelry. Oh my gosh, my brain is actually fried from today and yesterday and the day before. I'm exhausted. But she's a jeweler based out of Charleston. All of her jewelry is amazing and beautiful and gorgeous, and I love it. And this is one of a kind, custom made, so she cannot make another one. She made the choker and all of the charms except for this one. This one is from a different jeweler in Charleston. But yeah, you go on her website and you go on her Instagram and her TikTok, you can see all the other jewelry she makes. She made this pearl chain earring for me, and I have a few other pieces of jewelry from her. I'm constantly getting jewelry from her because my art studio is in the back of her shop in Charleston. So if you're in Charleston, go check her out. But yeah, and then
Okay, she just does that much, but watch. Oh, I'm going to show you the one.
Feeling good. Got our coffee. Fit check.
That's what she wore to court. Just so
Fit
you know,
check.
that's what she wore
Check,
yesterday.
check. Catch me. Yeah. We're walking to the courthouse, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but here we are. Yeah. Keep you posted.
Okay, here's more. Gotta share that one. Let me share page. Share screen.
That girl that's in the TikTok with her, she is with her constantly.
Yeah, but I want you to read what she said.
I can't see it. That's too small. 3 years ago, I made a joke on TikTok about both my parents passing and my dad having his life wrongfully taken from him. This morning, we are about to walk into court to hear the ruling. If the defense is in continuance the week before.
Okay. This one pissed me off, but not as bad as the next one. But let me
Okay.
play this one. I'll share this screen. I'm going to try and embiggen it as best I can. Oh, did you at least get a life insurance, and do you have a good relationship with your sibling? That is what she's going to answer. Watch her behavior.
Get any life insurance. So when my mom died, my dad, they were like, oh, we should only just do one person. And my dad thought he was going to die first because men are idiots and they do die first. But then my mom died first and my dad was like, fuck. So he raised his life insurance in case he died. And then I guess it ended 3 months before he died and he stopped paying. He didn't renew it. So when I found those papers, I was like, this close. I was this fucking close. But then no life insurance. And so I'm here. I can proudly say that I got to where I'm at right now with lots of love from my support system, but all by myself financially. I worked my butt off. And yes, financial times, I'm still in the hard ones because I'm 21. I have no idea how to budget my money. I overspend because I love shopping. But I'm somehow paying my rent every month. And I did move 5 times last year. And now I'm here living alone because I figured I don't like having roommates. So yeah, long story short, no.
Wow. Well, I knew that there was no life insurance. I could have answered that question.
But here's the worst, in my humble opinion.
No.
And it pisses me off. Let me get it queued. I got to find it because it's in the files. I got to click it. Oh, here it is. I got to get it on screen. It bad. It pissed me off.
Music in the background, you might get hit.
This. Can you read the shirt? My dad was murdered, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Brand.
You can
I'm tooling with my young niggas. A lot of cushion, a lot of guns, nigga. You see us, you better run, nigga.
I don't want to see anymore.
That's it. I have zero sympathy for this child now.
Yeah, I don't either.
Who does this remind you of that we watched a video of recently in the last trial? The daughter that was laughing, and I get that it's been a lot. the witchcraft murder trial. The
Oh,
daughter.
I didn't watch that. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Ada. You know who I'm talking about. The daughter/sister.
Mm-hmm.
It gives off those feelings. Granted, it's been a long time. But
Yeah.
But this little girl is getting up there being all pathetic and poor me. And she's spending money. Well, she says it. She tans in a tanning bed, you can tell. But this girl is fed and been supported through TikTok and the media. And with all this money that poured in, she's got millions of views on some of this since court started. 3 million on that last one. And that one was taken down today because as soon as she was in court, I loaded it. I went back and I was just going to load up TikTok and click them. It's gone.
Yeah, she knew she was in trouble. She knew she was, especially when Taylor wanted her phone. I'm going to play devil's advocate about the shirt. It sounds like a joke one of my kids might make about their father's death. Yeah, nope.
All right, I can speak for this generation. The dark humor is how we get through a lot of trauma. Like really dark humor that would, to a lot of other generations, would be extremely distasteful.
Morales
is far more normal in my generation. Like, I don't think it's okay, but
right.
it is a very normalized thing for my generation. Like joking about this, and
I guess I'm old.
Yeah, do I like it? No, but
I understand dark humor. I can put up with that. But doing something so publicly when the trial is still ongoing. This was a year ago.
Sneaky side. Get that, Ada, grab that.
Ooh.
If she is that good at manipulating with which facets of her personality get seen, that does make me wonder a lot more about her father, which is sad to say. And I 100% agree with Sneaky Side. And I am convinced after today, exactly, Yaya, you got that right, Yaya. Maya never. Maya is way more. First of all, Maya dresses appropriately for court. The only day that this young lady dressed appropriately was the day she was taking the stand. Since that day, I don't know if you could see the whole outfit, but yeah, she was in the jeans that she wore probably was like 5 times too big. I mean, they were, and then the shirt looked like, it would fit on a sumo wrestler, whatever you call them, big guys. And she had one thing tucked in here, and then the rest just billowed. And that's what she wore to court yesterday. Today, she wore practically the same outfit, except she was in a white shirt and in the jeans. But like I said, the clothes are like 5 times bigger than what she is. So I don't get it. And I don't think it's okay either. I do talk to them about how it's not appropriate. Also, there's a huge difference between a 10-year-old making a comment at a friend's house and a 20-year-old posting it spot on. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree.
So she was scared crapless.
Oh, she was, for sure. Especially when Taylor asked about the phone.
Well, yeah.
And
she was like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
And
with
her sidekick that's in those TikToks with her has been with her every day. She's
I
been there.
wonder if she's not living off of her because all the TikToks, if you watch all of them, she's in every single one. And there's some where they're shopping and doing stuff, and you see her with the money, not the tag along friend.
I don't know. Yes. She was like a deer caught in the headlights. I
All
agree.
right.
So
And she knew
Theory.
she was supposed to talk about it. She knew.
just
Yeah.
like Dad didn't understand what a no contact order meant and sent the package
Well-
anyway.
Well, wait a minute. We had that problem with my ex because there's no contact, but he sent mail and he sent it to me and for the kids, and he didn't understand that he couldn't do that. It had to be explained. Sometimes it's not as detailed explained when it comes to mailing birthday gifts and packages. My own experience. But anyway, whew, that
So
girl be riled.
I've got a thought,
Go ahead.
and just throwing this one out there as an idea. How much, if her father was abusive, it would make sense as to her humor, as to the way she's acting. Like, I can see it being one of those where she's not unhappy he's gone because it was hard for her, but
Okay, let's talk about that because
yeah,
why did she not sit there and say, hey, he was abusive? She was on the stand. She could have. She was asked. I mean, if he was really abusive, I understand that a lot of times people don't want to admit it and say it and they're lie to themselves about it. But I, after seeing this, I think she gets more attention for what she's doing than if she confesses the truth. If he was abusive. If he was abusive.
I know Ada and I do not see eye to eye on this, and that's cool.
I'm playing devil's advocate all the way around until I see
Yeah.
the very end. I
Yeah.
may very well agree with you.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But as you know, everyone, as of yesterday, I didn't choose a side. I was I appreciate, yeah, okay. I didn't pick a side, okay? I was neutral. I was hearing the prosecutor's side. And then last night we did the live. Ada went onto her website, pulled that stuff. Now, I had already known about the thing in the ceiling, the cat and the dog, okay? That I already knew, and that I stored back here. And when you do things, let's set the thing in the ceiling completely aside.
Mhm.
When you do things to animals, especially out of anger, a defenseless animal, a defenseless 13-year-old cat, a defenseless dog. Now, you saw the size of that dog. He knocked that dog unconscious. Okay. So now with what was revealed last night through that, okay, that sat back here. Then today in court, the text message exchanges. Well, let me back up a little bit. The two doctors that testified yesterday that the judge basically was cutting Taylor off and wasn't allowing Taylor to go down that road. Okay. was going to, if he would have been allowed to ask the questions, both of these doctors would have severely contradicted what the state is putting out there as quote unquote the motive. And it would have shown yesterday that Stephanie Murphy was lying. And that's how I feel. So that was back there. Then today, when Detective Keyless, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he was the cell phone check guy. And they made this big deal at it. I'm thinking, all right, now they're going to show her badgering him, all of this stuff. No, those text messages I found on his end to be obsessive, manipulative. Don't get mad at me, Ada. The Bible verses were over the top for me.
Okay, I don't disagree with you, but do you know what? When I was in a relationship, my husband enjoyed it when I sent a Bible verse every morning. I'd have my quiet time and I'd find a scripture and I'd send it to him. That was our routine.
Do you really believe that was their routine?
Well, look, I'm just taking this evidence as I see it. He was consistent every single morning. That could have been.
He knew she wanted a divorce. She told both of these doctors she did not want to go back into this marriage. She wanted out when she was alone with both of the doctors. Yet she placated him when they were in having the evaluations done and doing the therapy, and went along with it. And she admitted to both of these doctors that she was placating him because she was afraid, and the judge wouldn't let it in. Okay.
I'm not agreeing at all, but I want to say this part. She played him, gave him false hope. So he was reacting on that and doing everything he thought he could to save the marriage because he thought it may be savable because of the false hope.
I agree with you. But I don't think that she thought that clearly enough to see that she may be pushing the wrong buttons. Okay. Not
inside. We don't see things when we're in the middle of it. And she may not have realized that she was giving off mixed signals.
Correct. I agree.
That is self-preservation.
So I think this is speculation on my part, and I don't. This is after hearing those doctors yesterday, seeing the text messages, and you have to be careful about statements made to psych, etc. My sister has made a load of BS up to hers. True. But I do believe that he was abusive to her. I do. Yeah. Okay. I firmly do. I look at her. I have been carefully looking at her, but today was the first day that I really had an up close and personal observation and encounter with her outside of the presence of the judge and the jury. It was in the courtroom, but there was only 5 of us in there. It was during a break, and I have observed her outside of the courtroom, outside of the courthouse, and she does not act any differently in a social setting outside of court than she does in court. So I see what you're saying, but you see, I think this is what I think happened. I think that day, because remember, they were supposed to be moving to Maryland the next day. Okay. I think he was coming on strong, brought up about moving. I can't wait, da, da, da. And I think she may have taken that opportunity and told him, you're not moving in with us. And I think he flipped. And I think she shot him. Now, I know I think she shot him. Do I think he physically assaulted her that day? I don't know. But did his anger? We know he has severe anger issues. We've seen it in his messages, and we've heard it. We heard him admit it on audio. So did he start to explode and it was, oh, there's the gun, and she reacted, she snapped? I think it's a possibility. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt at the time they rested their case today? Now, in the state of Florida, second-degree murder, you must prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think the state came close to proving beyond the reasonable doubt. I mean, even the ME stated the gun, even though he was shot this way to this way, he said it was in front of him. So I don't know, how did the calf one go from downward to upward? And yeah, the prosecutor.
The way I saw it was, if you're running and you know how your leg bends backwards, and just before the leg comes down, when you're running, it can come here and you go down like if you're shooting like this.
But if she
On in the
shot
back.
him here first, there's no way he would have been running.
No. Well, yeah, but when you spin, I don't know. But and I said this to you, and then I'll let you talk, Braxton. Just because somebody has a verbal abuse issue, and there's no physical abuse, but it's verbal and mental, doesn't mean that what she did was in fear of her life. Unless he had a weapon, he threatened to kill her verbally. We don't know. She won't testify, or she hasn't said anything yet. But in the end, he didn't deserve to die. Period.
No, he didn't. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. But I'm not giving this man, I'm sorry, I'm not giving this man a pass. I'm just not.
I'm not saying I'm giving him a pass, but I am saying second degree may be reaching for it.
So I think all it would have taken is for her to be frightened for her life, would be for him to rush her, take it 2 aggressive steps forward, start yelling and step forward with his hands up, anything. And I think it'd be justified.
It's a trigger. It's a trigger.
Like,
and here in Florida, I mean, I have to tell you like it is. Here in Florida, that's all it takes. No one has to lay hands on you or use a weapon. All they have to do is make one aggressive movement towards you. And if you are in fear of your life, you can take the necessary step Did she reach a breaking point and something happened as the last straw? Yeah, I think I think that's exactly what happened. I think she told him.
Yeah, what I think probably happened is she told him, he got angry, and because we don't know where in the house it would have started, maybe it was the bedroom, maybe it was somewhere else, she either went to the bedroom to get, he was angry enough that she was scared for her life. He was yelling loud enough, he was doing whatever, and I can see it being where she is holding him at gunpoint, telling him don't, and he doesn't believe she'd do it, and he
Okay.
tries something.
All right. There's a comment in the chat about why did she wait until he was dead for a couple of hours to seek help? Hello. The ME did not testify to that. Did
Nope.
you notice? And did you also notice that, remember the detective who said, oh, he was cool to the touch? Did you hear the prosecutor today with the ME? She never even questioned that. Okay.
I want to know what his body temperature was when they found him. Same thing with the Karen Reed trial.
If he was dead for hours, we would have heard about that in court. The ME certainly would have said something.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe not, because the ME didn't go to scene.
But the ME knows the time of death.
Yes and no. Remember, weather, temperatures, and everything change that. It's very tricky. And if they didn't do a liver puncture right there on scene when he was deceased and they were doing the investigations, they have the means to do a liver temperature, then anything is fair game within 2 hours either way. It's fair game. Because by the time he gets to the ambulance office,
he got there a little bit after 5, and it was still light out at that time. And at that time of the year, it gets dark here.
Yeah, I don't know your time zone and all that.
Yeah, it gets dark here probably around 6-ish. So mom and the baby left a little bit after 5 to go to the park. He arrived at the same time that mom and the baby were going to the park. And the shooting took place around 6. He was there for approximately 40. Oh, excuse me, I have agita. About 45 minutes or so. Yeah, I don't believe he was. No, if he was there for hours.
Was he not removed till 1 a.m?
Well, but of course, they didn't. So don't forget, they dragged him out of the bedroom and down the hall. So
also, cold to the touch is a subjective thing. Like, it changes person to person. One thing might be cold to the touch to one person. One might be, well, it's lukewarm to another. Like,
yeah, Haley, I don't know what the temperature. I have no earthly idea. I cannot answer that question. It just struck me as odd yesterday when the detective said he was cool to the touch. Now, that sparked something in my head. Your body temperature, yes, it goes down. It starts to go down once the heart stops beating. However, it doesn't do a rapid, I mean, it's not rapidly done. So but that sparked it for me. And I thought for sure that the medical examiner, who is an expert in death, that the prosecutor would have gone down that road and said, well, how long does it take for a body to cool down? How many hours? What's the process? She didn't go down there at all. Not at all.
Well, they may not have because, and cool to the touch is the answer. They may not have because if the investigators did not check the thermostat in the building, the temperature surrounding all that situation, because all of that affects how long it takes for the body to start that process. The humidity that day, the temperature that day, how much clothes he had on, how little of clothes.
He had shorts and a t-shirt on. And our homes here are air conditioned 24/7, 365 days a year. Okay. But yes, he was in the house until 1 a.m. because of the crime scene tax. That's not unusual. Look at what happened with Parkland, the Parkland school shootings here. These folks, their children were in the school for 2 days before they were removed. So go ahead, Braxton.
Okay. So this one, rigor mortis sets in between 2 to 6 hours after death. If that had set in, I think they would have mentioned it.
Exactly.
I think that would have been
Widget. I can honestly say, yes, the AC was on. We're in Florida. We cannot live without AC. We can't. And I'm telling you, 24/7, 365 days. There's probably only maybe 2 or 3 days in the month of January and maybe 2 or 3 days in the month of February where you don't need your AC on. We have to have our air conditioning's on. Mine's cranking right now.
You could buy a house out there without a heater, but every damn one has an AC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here, it's not your normal heaters like you would see up north and stuff. They have what's called heat pumps. Yeah. Don't ask. Anyway.
All right. So let's move on off of his body because a lot of questions weren't asked that should have been, I think, asked, but they may have thought, you know what, it's not going to make a bit of difference.
Yeah.
All the text stuff today, that took too dang long. I was bored out of my gourd.
Yeah. And so was the jury. The jury was paying attention, but none of them, I have in my notes here, the jury was paying attention. They were reading, off the screen, but not one of them took any notes during the
text read.
Yeah. No notes. The jury also they were not looking at Ashley. They only looked at the lawyer, the judge, and the witnesses. One occasionally was glancing out to the gallery. So that was during and then what do I have here? I put down what my impression was. You don't want to hear that. And I don't understand the purpose of the video that they showed. Anybody that knows Ellen DeGeneres' game Heads Up.
Oh, I didn't know that, but okay.
Okay. You could download the app on your phone and you play it. And whatever comes up, the people that see it have to give clues. Okay.
I didn't know that the name of it was, but I got it now.
It's heads up. How did that go to motive? Braxton, you got the job?
I did.
Oh, congratulations. Much luck. When do you start?
I have my meeting with HR tomorrow where I fill out all the paperwork and stuff. Then I have my orientation Saturday and I start Monday.
So no
Good.
more for you.
I'm gonna see if they allow headphones. So I hope.
What is your hours of work?
Yeah, great question.
It's gonna be during the day. So
Like
9
like a 9, yeah, like a 9 to
Yeah,
5 or
9 to 5.
6 to
About.
It is 9 to 5. Okay.
It also might be rotating. I could be doing in the middle of the night shifts. It is so it's an IT support technician for Harmon's Grocery. So I'd have 5 different stores that I would be working on, and be on call at different times. So I'm excited. So
Well, because of that, I might as well do this because some of the people haven't seen this. Hey, y'all, I want to give a shout out to my mod tech, Braxton. He is fabulous. He has helped me straighten my computer out and get it running at its best. And he's also helped me with cords and all kind of good techie things. And if you are in need of any kind of tech assistance, please reach out to him. He is absolutely amazing. And Braxton, we are so blessed to have you here. And we really do appreciate you. And we also enjoy having you hop on live with us and share your comments. And you are just a fabulous member of the team. And we bless you.
That was great. I loved it.
thank you.
Um,
I have one thing that I want to jump back to the body real quick for.
yeah, go ahead.
Because I just did some research.
All right.
So, a body begins to cool at a rate of about 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit per hour after death when a ambient temperature is about 70 degrees.
And we keep well, I shouldn't say we because I break the rule. You know, you're supposed to leave here in Florida. They tell you leave the thermostat on one temperature only and don't be putting it up and down. Well, this girl, when I wake up in the morning, it goes to 75. At night, when I go to bed, I drop it to 70 because I cannot I sweat. I overheat in my sleep. You know, I'm of the age. And so, yeah, I do. During the day, I could deal with 75, but most people here in Florida keep their thermostat set on 72.
Yeah. And I would imagine that if they were moving, they would have it on even colder because they'd be going outside constantly to put things in a truck.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thought. So if cops just came from outside, even at night, it's going to be hot, say 80 degrees.
At night, at that time of the year? At that time of the year and at that hour, maybe. It could have been. It could have been. It could have been anywhere between 75 and 80 at that time.
Okay.
During that time of the year, during those hours.
And so when you walk into a cold house with a body that is going to be cold on the outside because the skin is going to be cold from the ambient temperature. Think about it. If you walk inside your house from outside when it's hot and you touch someone else's forehead, that forehead is the coldest thing you've ever touched. Like,
well, good point.
Yeah. So
and I can tell you this. If anybody touched me today or yesterday while I was in that courtroom,
You've been here for
With
hours.
the layers on, they would have thought I was a dead person.
Yeah.
I was freaking free. I was so cold I couldn't move my fingers. Okay, so yeah, that plays a part. And like I said, if the ME thought anything other, it would have been in his report.
That's my thought. Anyway, those were just the thoughts that I had on the side. So
I have to say that was the least amount of direct and cross of an ME I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Well,
there,
yeah.
to me,
Taylor,
was-
I thought Taylor did a great cross on him. He hit the main points, and he was in and out of there.
I find it
Lawyer
interesting.
says if you live in North Florida, life is completely different. But anywhere south of Orlando, yeah, and we're southwest. We're southwest Florida. We are literally on the Gulf. You know, I could drive 1 mile and be to the water. I mean, it's like Charlotte Harbor is a mile away from me. That's why I got hit so bad almost 2 years ago. It's coming up for Ian. But yeah, the Trial TV Live is correct. If you live up in like near the Gainesville area, their weather up in Gainesville, Florida is probably more reminiscent of Georgia weather.
gosh, sneaky side.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them for those who don't know where that is.
Yeah. Florida's I'm just going to say it. Florida's a nice place to visit, but for me, yeah, I didn't. My ex forced me here. All right, we were living in Georgia, right outside a suburb of Atlanta, and I loved it there. Out of all the places that we moved, and he moved me a lot. Wait. Never mind. I thought I saw Bradenton. Oh, I did see what I saw. Bradenton Avenue. Oh, do you live on No, do you live on Bradenton Avenue? Get out. That's weird. Anyway,
So I've got to jump off here in just a second. So what's
Me too.
interesting is I feel like I'm in the minority here.
About?
I think that it was self-defense and she's innocent.
I think she's no, she's not innocent, but I think she's not guilty.
Well, I think it was self-defense.
I do.
And she is not guilty. Like
I do. But I don't know how six people, here's the thing though. People are going to want to hear from her.
I think if she testifies, she's going to lose.
I don't believe she's going to testify. I don't think she is.
Fiasco today. Can you believe the lawyer and the judge?
Oh, all right. I've got to go.
Yeah.
You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for the support. You guys are all the best.
Love you, Braxton. I hope we get to see you though.
Oh yeah, I'll still be around. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. What do you call it? Yeah, he was wrong in what he did because that colloquy is normal. That is what it's done at every trial. Every judge does it, and every judge outside of the presence of the jury, like within anywhere between 2 to 4 days prior, always gives them a test run saying these are the questions I'm gonna. Yeah, he was over the top with that, and all he did was piss the judge off, and the judge gets mad enough with Taylor. So yeah, but my gut is telling me she is not going to testify.
I don't think she is either.
I don't think she is.
Unless something comes up in the defense's side on a witness that they weren't expecting and she has to get up there to save her butt.
But even the crime scene tech that was on there today, I can't pronounce his name. Household, the last guy to testify, Dan, whatever. He didn't offer anything of substance in regards to the state's case either. So,
Hosdorf.
Okay, thank you. I wrote it down. I just can't say it. I haven't seen someone claim self-defense from spousal abuse without taking the stand. Let me think.
Everybody's going to want to hear her. What was it that made her fear for her life? And she hasn't told the police. She hasn't told her mother. She hasn't told anyone, supposedly. What did we don't have the interview.
She doesn't have to tell anyone, though. That is her legal right.
I know.
She doesn't have to.
I know. I agree with you.
She doesn't have to tell her mom. She doesn't have to tell anybody. And you know, she doesn't. That's just it. She doesn't, and she was smart in not speaking.
But do you know how in every trial we see they always have a video of them or the written statements or whatever? They've shown nothing.
No. So here's the thing, what I'm afraid of. I've got two things that I'm afraid of for her. Is number one, if she doesn't testify, and I don't think she will, it's going to look bad in the eyes of the jury, and that's going to bring her down. My second fear is when Taylor got up there to argue for a judgment of acquittal, and I thought his argument was very well done. Very, very well done. I don't know what people on the internet said about it, but I thought it was very well done. However, my fear is he was very confident in his argument to the judge, and I like that, and I really felt he was on point, and he was right. But we don't know what 6 people are going to do. My second fear is he advising Ashley? They didn't prove their case. You don't have to testify. If you don't want to, you don't need to do it. Instead of flipping it and saying, you're claiming self-defense, you might have a better chance getting up there and telling your story, even though I don't feel that the state proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. People still want to hear from you. So I just don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, Court Clips, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Well, I think overall today, the morning was the best part of today. I mean, before the jury even came in, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. We're good. That was all I needed.
Yeah.
You missed
Um,
it, Diane. You need to go watch it. It was spicy. Congratulations, Haley, on your gifted membership from Braxton.
oh, congratulations.
Yeah, court clips. Don't who's no offense, I'm too new at this.
What do you call it? I have not uploaded any videos on my TikTok actually since Maya. But on Saturday I am going to take some time and throw some up regarding this case, a recap of the week's events. No, Yaya, I do not. Yaya follows me on my TikTok. No, I don't. No, I don't need a YouTube. Thank you very much. I will say this. I was approached. I was approached by several people today that said you need to do your own channel. Like I didn't realize that people knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of overwhelming, and I'm like, yeah, no. And as a matter of fact, one of the it was actually the camera person that streams for Law and Crime. It was like, she was like, girl, you need to do it. You're at all. She goes, I see you everywhere. You're at all these trials. Da da da. You're doing that. You're guest spotting on other people's shows. You need to do your own. I'm like, yeah, no. I can't.
We've talked about maybe co-hosting something in the near future.
Maybe, but like you have the equipment. I showed you what I have.
I know.
I've got a laptop, a camera, and a mic. You can't stream with that. But in any case, folks, that was basically it. I mean, it was I spoke with, how everybody, loves the pastor, the man bun. Okay, so I had a really nice conversation with him today. He is so cute. His name is Jason. And he does not like to be addressed as a pastor. What he likes is, he says, I am a man of God.
Humble.
Yeah, because I said, how do I address you? Do I address you as pastor? I said, because I met Brother Clark this morning. And he's like, no. He said, you don't. My name is Jason, and you can call me Jason. He goes, I don't believe in titles. That's what he said. He doesn't believe in titles. He said, I'm a man of God, and I follow my faith. I mean, he was so nice, and he's very soft-spoken too. But I told him that he was an internet sensation, and he's like, what? And I explained, the whole social, and he goes, I do not follow social media. I don't watch YouTube. And he said, how did that start? I said, your hair. And he was like, his cheeks got so flushed because you can't see anything else because he's got a full beard and mustache. But he goes, oh my God. I said, you're blushing. He goes, I am. And yeah, we had a nice conversation, and I started getting into an area that he wasn't comfortable with. And he said to me, why don't we wait a few days? And I said, why don't we wait until the verdict? And he's like, he made a comment that was a little telling. His comment was, yeah, but that's not a day I'm looking forward to. So, in any case.
He's worried that she's going to be found guilty. I want to know, Trial TV Live, how would you know if I could sing? I don't think I've sang live.
You have.
When?
A few weeks ago.
I don't remember.
Well, you did.
Oh, well, thank you. I slept since then.
I have a question for our Sinbad. I hope you had a great day. But hey, don't leave yet. Post the answer to my question in the chat, because I saw that Peter was doing a live, and the title of his live, I can't remember verbatim, but I was a little concerned. And hi, Iceman, how are you?
Welcome. It's just your first.
It is. This
Welcome.
is first time. So Sinbad, briefly, was it about what happened with one of the jurors? Is that what Peter was focusing on today? I'm curious, because when I get off of here, I'm going to bed, and I really don't want to watch. I don't want, no offense, Peter, if you're watching. I just don't want to watch a YouTube video. I want to go to sleep.
You're going to need to, because you got a long day tomorrow again.
But
it is Friday. It is Friday. You'll have 2 days to recover.
Widget, on Saturday, keep an eye out. I'm going to be dropping a few TikToks on Saturday, and then that to get caught up, and then hopefully I will get back into the swing of things and start dropping them regularly, and then I may go back to either. Oh, thank you, Mother of Beagles. He talked about the whole day. Okay.
Mother of Beagles, welcome.
Mother of Beagles, she's cool. Anyway, so, and then I'll probably go back to doing lives on either Saturday night or Sunday night on TikTok, so I can make a couple bucks. Yeah. He seems to be on the side of the defense, sort of. Peter mentioned that his chat is split. He did a poll, 80% not guilty, the rest guilty or hung. Thank you for that information, Sinbad. That kind of, I was wondering where Peter's thought process was. I could tell you Melanie Little and her group, 100% not guilty.
I'll do a poll tomorrow.
Yeah. 100% not guilty. I mean, Melanie, and she's a lawyer, picked everything apart. She picked the state's case apart, even when Taylor made screw ups. I mean, she acknowledges that, but the bottom line is that she has seen too many of these cases in real life, and she 100 believes that Ashley Benefield is not guilty. And I'm, like you all know, I've been on the fence. I was on the fence, and today I fell off the fence, and I fell onto the not guilty side. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most is if Taylor can pull off tomorrow that Stephanie Murphy did nothing but lie her butt off on that stand. Okay, so RA is group is 50-50. I could see it. And that's why, 6 jurors, I don't know. They expect to rest late Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. Jury instructions closing. The jury might get it late afternoon on Wednesday. If not, they'll definitely have it on Thursday. I don't think we'll have a verdict on Thursday. I think we'll have. I don't know. Let's answer that when we're closer. There were a bunch of people who believe she was guilty, but that the state didn't prove their case. No, the state didn't. No, the state did not prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I saw your face when Judge denied Taylor. We all said we feel you. Yeah, man. I was like, that is so messed up.
Okay, I want to say something, and then I want you to answer this.
Okay.
Nobody knows how I am because I promised my peeps I would play devil's advocate to the prosecution, then devil's advocate to the defense. However, I will voice what I believe once verdict or once they reach the into closing statements, and then I share what I believe. But I will say at this point, whether she's guilty or innocent, I still don't believe that the prosecution did a good enough job to get a conviction, whether she's innocent or guilty. Okay, Jules.
Yeah. All right.
Explain
Okay.
the lie.
It came down to the emails. All right. The state's case is it. Was I saying it? Yes, watched all of Melanie's stream today. Hope Attorney Taylor does to AJ and AJ to JM beat down. I don't know. We'll see. Doug's lawyer definitely had some personal feelings for him. I came away. Ada, did I not say that to you on the phone today?
And what did I say?
Okay. It came down to the emails. The state is saying that she murdered him because the evaluations were set to come out and go before the judge, and that she was afraid she was going to lose Emerson, and Stephanie Murphy is claiming that it was due to come out the day after the event took place. And her and Taylor were going back and forth on these dates, on these emails from Judge Moreland, from his assistant. Go ahead.
Well, I took very detailed notes.
Okay.
And Stephanie said on cross, that Dr. B's report was to be released 3 days later after the incident.
Okay. Thank you. And so the state is basing their whole claim is that Ashley did this because of this report. Okay. And that it was going to be done. That was on schedule with Judge Moreland. And Taylor is saying, here's the emails. This is not what the emails are stating. And she was arguing back and forth with him that he had the dates wrong, and this is wrong, and that's wrong. And he subpoenaed the Judge Moreland's assistant, who is the one who is drafting the emails and who is the one that makes the court scheduling, schedules the hearings, all of that. And she comes into court And if she testifies about anything other than what Stephanie Murphy said, Murphy committed perjury, plain and simple. That is the deal. And that's bad. Now, the reason why I say it's bad for her, most of the time, yes, there are people that get caught committing perjury on the stand, and 9 times out of 10, the judge is like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna put this aside, whatever, and it never gets addressed. But because she is a licensed attorney of the Florida Bar Association, and that's bad. This is a bad look for her. So, one of two things. That's what she says, that the psychiatrist was on vacation. But Taylor is saying, no. So, tomorrow's going to get spicy. Yeah. I do believe in my heart of heart and my gut, Stephanie Murphy committed perjury. I think that there was something more going on in regards to her attorney-client relationship with Doug Benefield. I have never, seen. And Melanie did confirm today, because I wanted to know. I talked to Melanie today. I told her the Matt Lucas story, and she said the only time that an attorney can break that attorney-client privilege after someone is deceased is the very next of kin can sign a waiver. So I'm sure that they got Eva to sign a waiver.
I was going to ask you about that in a minute. I had heard that, and I agree with you on that. So, yeah.
Well, I wanted it confirmed from an attorney. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I knew you had gotten the confirmation because I was listening. So
okay. So yeah. So but she was. Thank you. So she was. Huh?
Oh, I was welcoming Susanna. I don't think she's been here before. By the way, everybody, thank you so much for popping in. I'm Ada Kay, if you don't know. I'm deaf without my hearing aids, and we are providing this to the deaf and hard of hearing community. And if you would like to bless my fabulous interpreter, who is doing this at no cost to me, go bless her. Go get her a cup of coffee. She's been interpreting when she's not working all day in court and then our nighttime. So she's been working her buns off.
She is a blessing. She is.
Beautiful.
Susanna. I have seen Susanna in RA's chat. Rob's. Susanna is around the Law 2 community. So welcome aboard.
Welcome, and please subscribe. We finally hit our 2,000. I was so excited. We hit it.
How many do we have? How many do we have watching tonight?
Oh, I'm looking at, we're at 2014.
Oh my God. Last night when we ended the stream, you were 2005.
Yeah.
So you gained, yeah,
20.
great.
We got 27.
Good. Hey, listen, if you could,
Oh, thank you. Oh, by the way, comment I sub, because because you're going to want to see this, and we'll give Miss Diane a break. July has been an amazing month, and to end the month, we're doing a subscription campaign. And if you want to win a free Starbucks tumbler, just click the subscribe button. That's it. It's easy. Then leave in the comments, I sub, so we can get you in the drawing. The winner will be announced July 31st. Good luck, everyone, and thank you for subscribing.
That's my
My-
fave.
One of my new faves.
Is that red? Because it looks red.
It depends. It's pink, but if you put something dark in it, like Dr. Pepper, it looks red. Stanley. Oh, Lady Di.
Oh, like it.
48 hours.
Diane,
Mm.
what'd you say?
I said it'll stay cold almost 48 hours.
Oh,
I know.
does it do hot drinks too?
And it'll keep them hot too. It will. It's lovely.
I want one of them.
They're great. They expensive.
Cindy,
They
go
great.
ahead and do it. I sub. Say it. My
I sub.
computer has a program that's keeping track of everybody.
Make sure you say I sub.
Oh,
I sub.
Yeah, you got to say I sub. Don't put anything else, just I sub.
Mhm.
And this way, I'm sharing in its channel. Thank you, Sinbad. I love you. Yes, Melissa, my friend Melissa did it for me today. Susanna, today was an absolutely hard day watching the trial, but up a lot of emotion. Yeah, I suffer from post-traumatic distress due to DV. Well, then, Susanna, you should have been here last night.
yeah.
We had after we did trial coverage, somehow we warped into
A God thing.
and Amber from RA Stream and Brandy Churchwell joined us, and I'm not going to repeat everything, but Sinbad told a very tragic story, and her story broke us all, and then everyone just started talking about their stories, and I got off at 10:30. We started at 7:30. I got off at 10:30 because I had to go to bed. How late did you end up going, Ada?
Not much later than you. I ended it pretty quickly. Are you going bye-bye? Bye-bye, Diane. Love you.
Bye-bye, Diane. See you tomorrow.
Yes. See you later. Bye.
All right. She's such a sweetheart. I don't know where you found her, but you better not lose her.
We met at a Christian conference in Indianapolis, I think, or Washington State. And I went and sat in the deaf section because I was going to school learning sign because I was going deaf. And I ended up interpreting for a deaf blind woman because she was interpreting for the deaf. And we became sisters.
She's a very lovely woman. Very, very lovely. I am
I'm
a
really
speech
playing with
language
the
rings. I subbed during Long Lumber's Friday Night Frenzy stream. Oh, so awesome to see you doing this on YouTube. Do you remember that night he was doing Friday Night Frenzy and you were live streaming his live stream, and I was like, I'm going to go over to Ada and let her have you, because Rob had something like 5,000 people. I was like, yeah, let me go.
Do it again tomorrow. We were gonna do it last week, but one of them was ill. So I'm going to try and do it again tomorrow night.
I think you should do it. I think you should do it.
But you guys, please subscribe. Also, we just got monetized, and it's all because of RA and people like Rob and Law and Lumber and Runkle of the Bailey, and most importantly, this woman sitting right here.
No. Folks, don't listen to her.
Everybody was a part of that journey, and I really, we are going to try and interpret the debates. No one's interpreting the debates.
I'm not watching them, so I don't care.
Well, I really wouldn't watch it, but we have requests from deaf people.
Yeah, no, I get it.
There's no interpreting, and the captioning sucks royally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. My hat's off to you.
I have a question for you, love. I went totally deaf, and without my hearing aids, I hear nothing. But if you watch my channel, I've got good speech now, but when my hearing aids come out, and I have 1 day a week, I go totally deaf. I take them out because my ears need to breathe. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible wearing hearing aids. My speech changing. And I'm noticing that when I can't hear myself, and I have the strongest hearing aids you can buy. I have the Rodecaster Pro, which is like a soundboard that's at 100%, and I can hear me at a whisper. That's how deaf I am. So I'm looking for a program that I can get online and work on my speech visually to keep it where it needs to be, because the longer I'm deaf, the more it's going to change. And I've worked very hard at it. But when I pull these out, I sound deaf. People can go, huh? Sounds like I have a lisp. And sometimes, right, Jules, you can hear me kind of echoey or stutter.
Not echoey, but there are certain, and I'm not criticizing you, so please don't.
No, it's good.
Answering your question. There are certain words that you do have difficulty with. I have picked that up. And prior to you telling me about you being deaf, it's weird because I didn't pick up on it. Once you told me that you were hearing impaired, and then I started noticing, and I was like, oh man, I get it, and I get it that all right, I'm gonna, before I leave, because we're on this subject, here we go. Speed warp. Boom! We're in different universe now. My middle child was born deaf. I did not know it at the time. I didn't realize that something was wrong with him till he was about 2-ish. And my older son, they were 3 years apart, practically to the day. When Eric was born, by the time he was 3 years old, I am not exaggerating, he used to read the comic section of the Sunday news. Yes, we got newspapers then. He could read. He was when he was 2, he was having adult conversations. All right, full conversations, not sentences, but I'm talking full. Okay, so along comes Michael, and he wasn't. He was trying to talk, but it was more garbled than anything else. And I asked the pediatrician, and my pediatrician says, he's normal. He's just an average kid. You're comparing him to Eric, who is exceptional. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You can't compare. So what does mom do? Mom listens to the pediatrician. Well, another year goes by, and I knew for sure something was wrong with my child. Now, did I understand what he was saying? Yes. I understood it, and his brother understood what he was saying. We were the only two that knew, the only two that understood what he was saying. Michael's words were, Like when he went to go say water, it would be wah. I knew if he said wah, I knew he wanted water. His language was, I took him to an ear specialist. Oh, he has fluid in his ears. He has, chronic ear infections, fluid in his ears. Once we get that cleared up, he'll be fine. Puts him on a ton of medications. It was first it was antibiotics, followed by Dimetap that was supposed to dry up the fluid in his ears. Well, I don't know, 6 months or so went by. And no. So, and this was a top ear specialist from Hackensack Hospital. This is back in Jersey, from Hackensack Hospital. Okay, so now I go for the next top specialist at Holy Name Hospital in Teaneck, New Jersey. Well, I get the same song and dance. Wow, Sinbad. So then did the whole antibiotic regimen, the whole Dimetap regimen. I don't know how many months went by, but lots of months. Now I go to a third one. And that was the top ear specialist out of Englewood Hospital in Englewood.
You stuff.
He says to me, well, we need to do tests. This is the first time someone says we need to do tests. Oh, you're not going to give him medication? He goes, I can't give him medication until I know what's wrong with him. Well, he did a scan, a CT scan. He did a hearing test. By this time, Michael was 5. And mind you, we were living in North Jersey at the time, and I was told he was already going to preschool, but it was a preschool for handicapped children. And I was told that he would never, ever be able to attend a regular public school. And so this doctor did scans, hearing tests, a whole bunch of stuff, and then told me that his one ear, and it's weird because I used to always call it his Mr. Spock ear, because his ear was deformed. Okay, it came to a point, and you know how we have this fold here? Well, it was enclosed, it was attached, and his ear canal was very, very tiny. And so this doctor said both of his ear canals are abnormally small, but the left one is practically closed. And he was born without an eardrum, and the vibrating bone was broken in 3 pieces. And so this ear doctor explained to me that Michael spoke the way he heard. And that's, he said he's going to need surgery. And it took 5 surgeries from the time he was in kindergarten till the time he was in 3rd grade. So surgeries, they took cartilage from his nose. They took cartilage from behind the ear, and they also used pig cartilage. They rebuild the vibrating bone. They literally made him an eardrum, and they widened both ear canals to make, and the poor child had to have the packing in his ears. They had to be changed every day. That was a nightmare. But the packing had to stay in his ears for 4 weeks, because the packing in his ears enabled the canal, with the surgery, not to reclose, to keep them wider. And he went into intensive speech therapy He did group speech therapy, and he had speech therapy on a one-to-one basis. He has 50% hearing in one ear and 80% hearing in the other ear. So I'm very blessed. The things that they can do with technology. But so once you told me, Ada, then I started picking up some of your words, and I thought to myself, she's saying them that way because that's how she hears them.
Right. Let me answer this question for I undermint what you stood. When I don't have my aids in, or sometimes I get an echo because my hearing aids are Bluetooth to the soundboard and I'm getting feedback. That's when you can really hear it because I can't hear anything of myself. It's just a weird noise. But when I'm out of my hearing aids for any given period of time, I start saying things. But my doctor said, see, these are my last hope. I can't get a cochlear implant because I don't qualify. I produce too much spinal fluid. I have intracranial hypertension, and they did all the tests, and I'm not a candidate. And so when these hearing aids no longer work for me, and understand, I don't hear everything. People don't get that. And I have a thing on my screen literally where this is right up at the very top of the window where my eyes, when you see me looking right here, I'm reading what you're saying. People have no idea. I'm reading. It's live caption on the computer. And I was told that once these no longer work, I need to start doing speech therapy at home, getting a hold of a speech therapist, maybe even getting a program to do it at home, because the longer I go without hearing after these no longer work, the more my speech and everything will change, and I will eventually I will sound deaf. And to me,
Wow.
I don't want to sound deaf.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And that was the other thing with my
I
son,
don't talk.
which I did not know. He was a natural lip reader. To this day, if he's talking to someone, this is what he does with his good ear, all right, his 80% hearing. He'll be like this, yes, but his eyes are on your mouth. And he's watching. And he's been a natural, it came to him naturally. And, having three boys, Eric, Michael, and Brian, and they're all very close in age. Eric, when he was in third grade, my son, I'm not bragging. Yeah, I am. He's got he's got an IQ of 162. This kid, when he was in third grade, this kid never, ever picked up a book to study. He's an avid reader. He always was, but he never studied. Okay. He did his homework, and his test scores in school he got hundreds. He didn't, it just came naturally. And my Michael, because of his handicap, had to really study and work so hard. And the highest grade he would ever get was be a C. And it used to upset him. And I used to be, for Michael, a C was an A. Mm-hmm. And I was ever so grateful because I saw the struggle that my child had all through school. And my Brian, my youngest, he was the average one. If he studied, he got good grades. If he didn't study, he didn't. So I had three different,
You had three different kinds. I want to talk about this. Having to lip read is very cognitively draining. I hate it when people don't understand it. That is just assumed that people who are deaf, hard of hearing can just read lips and depend on CC. I can read lips because I work hard at it. I practice at it, but still, and I'm sure you know this, but I'm going to do it here. I'm going to say something. Tell me what I said.
Will you marry me? No. What?
Will you bury me?
Holy
My
moly.
bury look exactly the same on the lips. So there's a lot of words that look the same. So I have to place what I'm understanding half on the context of what's being said, and the other half is the shape of your lip. And everybody shapes differently. And I'm exhausted. People don't understand how tired I am by the end of the day because I have hearing aids, but when I'm in a restaurant, I'm really trying to lip read you, and only 30% of what's said on the mouth is understandable when you're deaf. 30% of the lip reading without sound is clear and understandable. Um, and and so people have no idea how hard it is. I am lucky because I grew up hearing. I was a hearing adult before this happened. So my English is super strong. In fact, I passed an English proficiency exam in order to try and become an interpreter for the deaf. But when you've got the average deaf person has a third grade reading level, it's not because they can't. It's just English is not their language where ASL is sometimes. Sometimes people depend on lip reading only, others depend on ASL, some do a mix. I mean, you treat every deaf person like they're proficient in one or the other. And I went to a restaurant recently, and this has happened a couple times in San Antonio, and it was my day with no hearing aids, and I have a service dog, and I rely on her 100% when I'm in that situation. And I said, I'm deaf. I can talk, but I can't hear you. I'd like water, no lemon. I'm allergic. They go, we'll be right back. They come back and bring me a Braille menu.
Do you remember the night I asked you about that, about Braille? And I was like, wait, what was I thinking? She's deaf, not blind. It's like, oh
Well,
my
I did play around and study a little bit about Braille because as a deaf support specialist, a disability integration specialist, um, we learn about all of that. But yeah. So it's almost 8 o'clock on my time.
fine. I'm gonna say goodnight.
Um, we will be back tomorrow night.
Well, it depends. If you're gonna do Friday Night Frenzy with, well, I don't know.
I'd like to get on a little earlier.
Oh, well, that would suit me just fine. Then I can lay
As
in
early
bed.
as we can get on, we'll get on. And
'Cause
then
then I can lay in bed with my laptop and watch Friday Night Frenzy. Um, uh,
nice to meet you, Yaya Tucker. And
Yaya is a sweet.
hi.
I just want you to know Yaya is a sweetheart. Yaya, I hope when you have time, you know, to pop in on Ada's stream because she's a very lovely person. I found her through Scott from Recovery Addict. What?
You haven't seen the horns yet.
Yeah, well, okay.
Don't
want to. Oh, Lord have mercy. But yeah, because I love Yaya. I haven't spoken to Yaya. It's been, oh my goodness, I don't know. Maya
Enjoy
tried
meeting your
to.
family. Thank you for joining.
Yes, and so we're oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't even think straight. Ada and I have talked about doing a couple of things together, but we also talked about like maybe it's obviously this is Ada's channel, so it's up to her to it was since Maya. Okay. Again, my brain is so fried. Oh, last night, because we got into some really heavy stuff last night. So Ada was. Do you mind me saying this? Do you want me to shut up?
Go ahead.
Was saying that maybe once a month we would do a live stream for anybody that wants to join us and to talk about PTSD, DVSA, whatever you guys are comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable about sharing your stories, you certainly don't have to do it. If you just want to listen, whatever. And, and then after the live stream is over, to keep everybody's stuff private, it would make it unavailable.
Make it non-private. Make it private.
Yeah. So there's that. And then, we've got a lot of hearing impaired people now.
I'm going to teach you something, Jules. A lot of
he was not,
people will be offended.
He was not fired. He quit.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
Hearing impaired really offends a lot of deaf and hard of hearing people because that makes them sound broken. Just FYI. Don't
use the term hearing impaired is what you're telling me? I did not know that. You see, you learned something new.
It's deaf or hard of hearing.
I did not know that. Hazelnut, no. He was not fired. Him, Nick, and Samantha both left the firm of their own accord. So I don't know. Say what?
Nick
Whitney and Samantha Lawrence.
Oh.
The
docket filed said he was terminated.
He wasn't terminated. He left without I really probably shouldn't be saying this stuff.
That's not here.
Yeah, no.
By the way, did you hear someone's dog jumped and their cat jumped?
You're so funny.
Oh, come on. Here's my favorite. You got to hear my favorite.
You're so silly.
You know when you get slapsticks because you're so tired? I had 4 hours sleep last night.
I had 5, but it was broken sleep. It wasn't even a good sleep. Hang on a second. I'm pulling something up. 2018 CA 5321.
Well, thank you, Sneaky Side. We're getting off in a minute.
Yeah, I just want to pull something up.
I am so mean. My daughter, she can go. I don't know how she does it, but she gets this deep in her voice. I'm like, God, sounds like Satan walking through the door.
Oh Lord!
I mean, it's creepy. She was about 5 years old, and she'd do that, and you're like, who the hell are you? Are you possessed? Oh, it was funny. Well,
here's the motion. Here's the motion from Nick. This was dated on July 16th for him to withdraw. And now apparently yesterday, now I knew on the 16th that the hearing was canceled. So now the sanction hearing has been moved to October the 9th. And now here we go. Let's pull this up. Motion is withdrawn, undersigned, turn Nicholas. All right, hereby moves this court to withdraw.
This is a rescue kitty. We found her outside of my son's shop, which is where I'm at. She was about 3 weeks old, and she's now about 3 months old. But she's like, this is playtime. Look at that face. I don't want to kiss. She's so playful.
Holy moly!
He was. And I'm tired. What trial is this? I'm very tired. Maya's. Okay. He's on the prosecution, right?
He's on Maya. It was one of Maya's attorneys.
One of Maya's? My brain is crap. What happened?
Okay, on the 16th, he filed a motion to withdraw. Also on the 16th, Greg Anderson filed a motion stating that Nick was no longer affiliated with the firm. This was filed yesterday by Nick. And it says, pursuant to Florida, I'm not going to read the number, it's too long. The undersigned attorney, Nicholas P. Whitney, hereby moves this court to withdraw as counsel for plaintiffs Maya Kowalski individually, Jack Kowalski individually, and Jack Kowalski as personal representative of the estate of Beata Kowalski, plaintiffs. The undersigned moves to withdraw. I'm going to cry because I love this man. I love the entire firm, and I'm going to be like, God. The undersigned moves to withdraw based upon good cause. On July 9th, 2024, I raised concerns with Mr. Anderson over his refusal to provide a closing statement, his failure to notify our appellate and referring counsel. In this case, I wish I had my reading glasses on. In this case, of the receipt of settlement and financing proceeds. In response, on July 10th, 2024, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson directed that my access to the firm's server and email be severed and terminated me. Given the intense public interest in this case, plaintiff's last known address, telephone numbers, and email addresses are not disclosed herein despite the stated requirements for withdrawal found within the rule, and then he gives the rule number. Should the court require such information, the undersigned will supplement this motion with a confidential filing. Anderson Glenn, LLP, remains counsel of record along with Buell, Elliott, Ferrara, and Faircloth. Accordingly, the undersigned requests that the court enter an order withdrawing Nicholas P. Whitney, attorney for the plaintiff. I'm so
okay. Because of my hearing, I didn't get all that. Tell me what in layman's terms, because I couldn't understand it.
Greg fired Nick.
Why?
Because Nick is saying, we got to get this appellate issue done. We need answers for the settlement. And I do know. Well, anyway. Yeah.
Personality conflicts and how to handle the case?
No, not at all. They had a really good working relationship. However, Greg is kind of laid back, like lackadaisical. His wife, Jennifer, is the one that, pushes to get things done. Nick, another one, So apparently, according to this, he was pushing him, and on July the 9th, I guess they got into it over it, and both Greg and Jennifer denied him access and terminated him. And I'm like, he filed an order to withdraw. I thought it was of his own free will. This was just filed yesterday. The last filing I read was on the 16th. Oh, this is what I get. See, not checking. Oh my God. I don't want to, I'm not going to call him.
I'm so sorry. I know this is devastating news.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to sign off. This is upsetting for me.
I know we all need to. Love.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Call me in the morning on the way if you need to talk. Call me in the morning on the way if you need to talk.
Yeah, ma'am. Nighty night. Love you guys. Have a great evening.
Hug your doggy. Oh my God, y'all. That's not a good way to end the live. Well, for those who don't know me, I'm Ada Kate. Thank you so much for hopping in and joining us. Please subscribe. You guys know what to do. Appreciate you. We hope that you will come back and join us again tomorrow. Let's see. Nick wanted appellate court to perform basic please over. I can't take that on tonight. Andrielle, thank you for modding. Sneaky Side, thank you for modding. All my mods, all my visitors. Trial TV Live. Oh my gosh, we got to do a face-to-face. I want to see who's behind this fabulous channel. If you guys don't know Trial TV Live, they are broadcasting these trials without commercials or breaks on their end. So go and Facebook and YouTube and subscribe to them. They're growing. Everybody, thank you. I mean, I can't list everybody, but I really, really thank you for joining me, and I hope to have you back. So, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have dinner with my kids, and I will see you here first thing in the morning. And just sweet dreams. Be blessed. You've blessed me. Good night. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I hope you have an awesome day. Till next time, take care.